Hello everyone, welcome again to my channel. Thanks for the click. I hope you're well. In this episode, we are going to see some very common, easy to learn phrasal verbs with the preposition out. So we have hand out, find out, figure out, put out, and pick out. So all these are very easy phrasal verbs that you can easily learn and use either in speaking or even in writing. And this is very good, very important for baccalaureate students in Morocco and all English learners in general. All right, now we are going to see the meaning of these phrasal verbs and the use of these phrasal verbs in such sentences. We have hand out. So for example, the teacher can have papers, worksheet, and the teacher hand out papers or exam papers to students. So we can say hand out or to distribute. To distribute something, for example, as I said, papers or worksheet or handouts or exam papers, as I said. So that's what you buy, to distribute or hand out, to give something to people. All right, find out is easy, to discover, okay? To discover, all right? To discover, to find out, to discover. To figure out can also mean discover, or we can say know. Very easy, we can say to know something, to understand something, to figure out, okay? To know something. Put out has to do with fire, to stop fire, okay? And when there is fire, the fireman, for example, run and rush to put it out, to put the fire out, which means we can say to stop, all right? To stop the fire, to stop the fire. To pick out is very easily to choose. We can say to choose something, all right? So if you have a lot of choices, any kind of choices, you pick out the appropriate choice according to you. So these are the most common phrasal verbs with out, hand out, to distribute, find out, to discover, figure out, to know, and put out, which means to stop, as I said, fire, and pick out is to choose. Here we have some examples, some sentences. We are going to use these phrasal verbs to complete these three sentences. The teacher out worksheet to students, for example. So very simply, here we can say the teacher hands out the worksheet. The teacher hands out the worksheet, which means the teacher distributes the worksheets to students. All right, here we have S, very simply, because here we have the teacher is singular, he. All right, number two, he went to England. Why he went to England? To out more about English culture, very simply, to discover or to know more about English culture. So very simply, here we can say he went to England to find out more about English culture, which means to discover more about the English culture. Students have to out the correct words to complete the sentences. So students can have choices, a lot of words, a list of words, and they have to complete the sentences. So what are the students going to do? Very simply, to choose the correct word to complete the sentences. So we can say the students have to pick out the correct words to complete the sentences, or to choose the correct word to complete the sentences. So this is the use of these phrasal verbs in sentences. As I said, these phrasal verbs are easy and very common. We use them a lot, either in speaking or even in writing. I hope you learned them, and I hope you benefited from this episode and the previous one. If you have any question or suggestion, don't hesitate to ask. See you in another episode. Have a good time and goodbye.